Hey, I'm Ashley, and I live with my mom and my dad and my brother Jackson. I feel like our family is kind of falling apart right now. It's kind of a weird story, but basically, me and my brother have become like enemies. And somehow, in the chaos of all of this, we've gotten my mom and dad drug into this, and they've taken sides too. It's so weird because we're like at war with each other instead of being a family. And I definitely wouldn't have thought that things would get so out of hand for the reasons that they did. Ever since I was a little kid, I've been obsessed with cats. I had like stuffed animal cats, kitty clothes, I dressed as a cat for Halloween, all that stuff. I asked for a cat for every birthday, every Christmas, probably even Columbus Day. It was a little bit out of hand. I think my obsession drove my parents kind of crazy, and I can't really explain how much I needed a cat in my life, but I needed a cat in my life. So eventually, after years of begging, pleading, and attempted bribery, on my 12th birthday, my dad brought me home a kitten. This was pretty much the happiest day of my life. She was orange with tiger stripes and cute little blue eyes. She was just a baby then, and she was so tiny. She was perfect. I spent more time with my kitty than with my family, to be honest. I played with her in my room and cuddled with her on the couch. I even got in trouble for sneaking her into school a couple of times. It was kind of intense. She became my best friend, and I named her Mika. A couple of years later on, our family got a new addition. My brother Blake is 3 years younger than me, and I think he was kind of jealous of me and Mika. I used to play with him all the time when I was a kid, and then when I got her, I didn't really care about him anymore. My parents felt so sorry for him since I wouldn't play with him. So in comes Sammy, my brother's new pet beagle that my dad got for him. Obviously, I'm more of a cat person, but honestly, Sammy was really cute. He's got soft fur, big brown eyes, big floppy ears. He's full of energy and he loves to play. The problem is, when he likes to play, it typically involves terrorizing my cat. I guess he's just playing around, but he chases her all over the house and he pounces on her whenever he gets the chance. I was worried about him hurting her, whether he meant to or not. He's just so much bigger than she is. And also, I felt like my brother wasn't actually controlling his pet. Like, when you have a pet, that's your responsibility. I talked to my parents a lot about it and asked how we could get Sammy to leave my cat alone. They didn't have any answers. My dad basically just said that the animals would work it out themselves. Well, one day, Minka had had enough and decided to work it out herself. Sammy, I guess, jumped on her like he always did, and she swung around and attacked him. She didn't just claw him on the face. She, mauled him. I didn't want to see anybody get hurt, but honestly, I kind of thought good for her and figured that he would learn his lesson and stop messing with her. He left her alone for a few days, but I guess, dogs aren't as smart as cats are, so he went right back to it. They started fighting all the time. My dad's solution was to put Mika outside and let Sammy stay inside so they could be away from each other. I was pissed. My cat was getting kicked out of the house because my stupid brother's poorly trained dog was attacking her all the time, and she didn't do anything wrong. She hated it. She's been an indoor cat all of her life. It was just heartbreaking to watch because she'd sit at the window and cry. I felt like I was being a bad pet mom, but I didn't really have any choices because my parents said that was the rule. Eventually, she was allowed to come back in the house because nobody could stand to listen to her meowing and scratching at the back door all night. At first, my parents stayed out of it, but pretty soon my brother and I started fighting just as much as the dog and cat did. My mom was more sympathetic to my brother. She's always babied him, and she said that he deserved to have his dog inside because she thinks dogs are better or I don't know what. But my dad, meanwhile, he thought that since I had Mika first, Mika had the right to be in the house. And it seems like something silly, but it actually really turned my parents against each other. Now we're all fighting. The cat, the dog, me, my brother, my mom, my dad. It's kind of turned into a giant mess. And at this point, I don't know what to do. Nobody's backing down and it's just escalating day by day. I really don't know what to do. Does anybody have any advice?
Thanks for watching. If you've enjoyed this video, be sure to subscribe and comment below. Let me know what you think. Thanks, guys.